That's a quick and short one.
It is nice little 30 second and 30 seconds. So boom, boom, 1 minute, and here we are. We are back live on a Tuesday night for another episode of Tuesday Night.
Tuesday night podcast.
Yet to be figured out.
The
So,
Tuesday night podcast.
yeah, we did the Thursday night one before, so wouldn't be too far of a departure, but just wouldn't really seem to fit. I guess I don't know.
Right.
Guess you could do ADR Tuesday night. Nothing illegal about it.
No.
Oh, but with it being winter, unfortunately, this time of year there really isn't much of anything newsworthy to talk about in the drag racing world, so it's kind of hard to find topics of conversation. But we'll see if we can plug through or figure, mine.
And I believe that there's some things that we could potentially drum up to talk about. I mean, actually, I got a list running in my head right now.
Okay.
Tick
them off.
All right. Let's see. Hold on, let me
mariachi.
Oh, Maria. Yeah, mariachi. It's perfect. No, I was thinking congratulations, Kai Kelly. Let's just throw that one right out of the box.
Never heard of him.
It was awesome.
Unfamiliar.
So, I mean, basically, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Kai Kelly's car, just it's basically a pro mod with metal body panels and glass.
At a shorter wheelbase, it's just outside of being basically a pro stock wheelbase. It's got steel roof and rear quarter panels, and I think everything else is pretty much in line with a pro mod.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Demi mod.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not too far off. I'm sure the metal adds a little bit of weight.
I would guess, but is that, I don't know if that's disadvantageous or not.
I mean, look, either way, man, he took out some fucking heavy hitters, dude. He took out some big names.
Sure did, no doubt about it. But I'm conflicted on it because as much as amazing what Kai Kelly did, just crazy Cinderella story. This is like the last place team going through the NCAA tournament to win it all and beating some sort of giant is the nearest equivalent that I can come up with in any sort of sports out there, because he walked in there with a car that should have been laughed off the lot by every other $1 million car, $1 million team that was out there, and yet went out there and put on a fucking clinic. Put on a clinic. To his benefit, though, he was, hey, Haley, happy birthday.
Hey.
He was out there running in and for those that are just listening on audio or not looking, air quotes, outlaw competition. So he had that going for him, which in this air quote outlaw competition, there's of course rules packages and weight minimums and all those sorts of things. So it was amazing, but I guess if you really boil down an index race, does it really just come down to, because that's all it is. It's an index race without time, right?
No. When they're not dialing in times and
they're dialing in weight in combination.
Well,
so it's almost like an engine index, not a time index.
Well, yeah, I mean they have the rules for the weights.
Sure, which keeps for the everybody's time is within hundredths of a second. From top to bottom of the list, it's hundredths of a second.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a backward. It's like a reverse engineering an index class.
Exactly.
So you're not doing the times. You're doing the
unadvertised index class.
You're figuring out how to reverse engineer everybody to run the same time
without listening,
by adding all the rules for all the different weight packages, or all the different power.
Correct. Yeah. So it's a sneaky index.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, sneaky dex.
It's a sneaky index kind of class because you don't advertise it as an index, so therefore you can advertise it as pro mod. You advertise it as outlaw, which still boggles my mind because we talked about in previous episodes, there's nothing outlaw about a rules package and weight for combinations. That's not outlaw. Now, granted, they had outlaw testing, so maybe we can call it outlaw testing.
Here's the thing, man. I mean, I thought about this, and I had made a comment to somebody too about them using Kai Kelly ran the all caps outlaw
Right.
mod in Bradenton, and I was like, look, man, it's not real outlaw like. And then he's like, well, we're talking about their rule package. I'm like, yeah, but dude,
But
you
that's not
you
outlaw.
italicized outlaw,
Right.
and that's not outlaw.
No.
So like you're the one that threw it out there. And it's my duty to say something.
Mhm.
But then I started thinking about it. You know, I mean, it's no different than our society being brainwashed about history and fucking everything else, right? Nutrition down to politics to school systems and all that. We won't get into that. But it's the same thing I feel is happening with the term outlaw. It's now just used as a
Throwaway.
term. It's just a throw around term that everybody's going to use. There's
Mhm.
nothing to keep anybody from using it, and they've turned the rainbow gay, if that makes sense.
Sure. No, I get it.
Because now you can't even look at a rainbow without thinking
The
gay
and I think
gayness,
they're
which
also
sucks because I loved rainbows in the '80s when I was a kid.
they're also
Reading
kind of
rainbow.
leveraging we'll call it the uneducated consumer, because most people that are going to see that aren't going to do any sort of research or
But here's
looking
the thing,
into it
dude.
to
There was
see
no
if it is.
crowd there. There was no spectators. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but there
I
was nobody
did.
there.
I happened to,
And
which
but
is
that's not
weird.
a big deal. It's not a big deal, right? I mean, the
Yes, it
the
is.
the goal was to have a huge field, and that's cool. But the thing is they're not catering to the populace. They're catering to the racers, and all the
Sure.
racers are cool with it, and they don't give a shit, right? So they're
I
like,
think
yeah,
it's
call it run what you brung door slammers with
right.
rule packages.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because it's not really drawing anybody, and I get
Right.
that, but at the same time, don't isn't that a disservice to the industry for series? Because 'cause they're not the only series out there
I
to
mean, but
be
it's
doing that. Because it's not growing your industry, it's not endearing your industry to any sort of spectators, it's not exposing your industry to any sort of spectators, it's just forming some sort of private playground where if people happen to know about it, they can
well,
happen to
that's what
come and
they
watch.
all do. Well, I mean, but that's what it is. That's what the winter series is. That's what PDRA is. That's
Yeah,
what
but that's not what it
Midwest is. I mean,
is that
that's
what
it's
it should be?
well, I can't say that much about Midwest. I don't know if Midwest is as much of a
Like PDRA,
like PDRA.
I'll say.
But I definitely see the huge alignment between PDRA and this winter series that
Yeah,
Wes has put together.
similarity is strong.
For sure. And now, but I think it bleeds over into the Midwest because they all have similar rule packages. So that, and
Yeah,
then,
I
oh my
kinda get
God, watching Keith Haney lose his shit
it.
on fucking Donald Long was just funny to me.
Happy late birthday to Donald.
Yeah, happy late birthday, buddy. But yeah, and Don's like, dude, I didn't do that intentionally. And then, I guess you saw the update. So of course, Keith went out and found somebody to put some more money on top of the purses. I guess to try to draw cars away. I mean, dude, it's just such petty. Fuck, it's all just petty bull. I have learned that blinders are going to be my best friend, and I'm going to stay in my fucking lane, and
It
I don't give a shit. And I've
I
always
just
been that
don't
way. Like I don't
I
give a
just don't
fuck what
see where
anybody else is doing,
none of
but
that
they
serves the fan, though. So that's what I think is bullshit about it, is how can you be out there putting it's like the Cardinals, because 'cause we're here in St. Louis, so I know other people are elsewhere, so I'm just using that as a point of reference. If the Cardinals played at a stadium that was just walled up and they didn't allow people in, but if you happen to walk by and hear that there was something going on inside, you could come by and check it out. That's cool. They weren't going to turn you away, but they're not going to really look for people going. That's crazy.
right,
That's
right.
crazy.
So, I mean, look, and I think what they're doing is good for the industry. It gives a lot of racers an opportunity to work on their shit over the winter, race during the winter time. That's great. I get it.
What's up, Eric? Welcome to the program.
Welcome to the program. And I get that they're gonna, you know, I think it's healthy for the industry. I think all of it, no matter who it is, PDRA, Midwest, the Winter Series, all that. I think that's good for drag racing just in general. So, but again, I'm going to keep my blinders on. We're going to do our thing, and ADRL is just going to keep pushing our outlaw, our true run what you brung door slammer series. And that's what it is. I mean, maybe we need to, I've pretty much dropped outlaw pro mods because now we've all talked about this for the past year. So, I think really what we have to do is the brand defines the class. So
So
when
what it
people hears ADRL, that all it is run what you brung, door slammers, no
that
rules,
I don't like that because it's
or
not.
just no rule drag racing.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think it's even simpler. It's ADRL, no rules racing.
There you go. That's exactly right.
And then if as long as that tie-in association comes into play or it's utilized, ADRL, no rules racing. That's like that covers it all. Nobody, you can't outlaw no rules.
Yeah, but right, exactly. And so what it
You can't
is it's ADRL. People are going to know ADRL,
no
right?
rules racing.
So because I went back and forth with this guy a little bit just for the hell of it, and he's like, "Well, their outlaw rule package is different
Oh,
than
trust me, I've
somebody
worked.
else's outlaw rule package," and I'm like, "Oh my
But
god!"
it's not because
I'm
all
like,
three of the
"Okay,
major series get their same rules from John Sears, and when he releases an update for his rules package, that update goes to all three of the series, and then all three of the series fall in line, toe heel step, and then keep going. So there's not much minutia between it.
And yeah, again, man, it's all good. What they're doing is healthy for the sport. It is what it is. I think that that term is now floated downriver. Everybody's getting the scraps
Bastardized.
on it. And it is what it is. And I think it's a cool name. I think it represents. I don't know. I I still, when I think of outlaw, I think of people that don't follow the rules, like bikers and biker gangs. As somebody that
Mhm.
grew up with a dad and all his friends and
Yeah,
cousins and great uncles that
you're
rode in
operating
clubs,
outside the law.
it's
That's
outside the
correct.
law, outlaw, outside the rules. Like your brain just clicks to that, right? But let them do with it what they please.
Eric says Kai Kelly winning that was honestly good for the culture. It literally just opened up a lot of doors. No
For
doubt about
sure.
it. I
Well,
can't
you know what? And I
that.
had a good conversation with Kayla Morton, and I mean, I'm hopeful that Street Outlaws or No Prep Kings, is successful, but in the big scheme of things, I don't know that it's looking too great for them. So they were talking about perhaps in the event that things don't work out for everybody here in the near future, down the years down the road, that they'll be looking for a place to run. And I was like, hey,
Our pits are always open.
they are, but they know they can't run with us.
Well, and
I
that's the
mean, look,
problem.
here's the thing: is that I was happy to see Kai Kelly go smack the pants off all those fucking pro mod guys.
No doubt.
Um,
I want to
but I'm
stay.
going to tell you
Take
this:
off it, so
there ain't no fucking way in hell that's happening in the ADRL.
no,
I
no.
mean, it just ain't going to happen unless you got balls hanging down to your knees, and unless you got or a female with balls down to their knees, and unless you got one of the baddest, quickest fucking door slammers on the planet, you're just not going to hang in the ADRL, and that's just the bottom line.
Yep. 'Cause Eric says one thing for sure, and I said to Steve Evans, good old Uncle Steve, that whole field better stay away from Bubba, Doug, Frankie, and John. No doubt. and that
And Clyde
and Clyde once he
and
gets his stuff up,
Luis.
and
Oh,
there's
I'm going to
more.
tell you, man, they're building them. They're
Yeah,
building them, folks. I've
the
seen the pictures.
the times that were getting put in over the weekend, Kai Kelly, he eclipsed Doug's time, for 2024 ADRL times. He eclipsed Doug and would have entered into third place, but everybody else would have fallen into, maybe fifth, sixth. So
Here's what I do believe, though, PA. Here's what I do believe. I do believe that every one of those cars that ran this weekend, every single one of them
nut hangers.
has the potential to be competitive in the ADRL. If they just
Sure.
strip the weights off their fucking cars
That's up to
and come let it sag,
yeah.
that's where it's at, dude. I don't
Mhm.
know if it's that they like the competitive field like that, and they like the big entry fees and they like the big payouts. I don't know if that's it, but I mean, I guess what we're catering to is to the folks that just want to be the quickest. And that's it, because I've gone back and forth with guys too. Oh, and that's not impressive. What's impressive to me is all the weight, and the bump is this, and the field is, from, 59 to 64. And that's all great, man.
Cool.
And look, and from a competitive standpoint, that's cool. And if you're competitive If you're competitive like that, then that I get that, right? Because it's a big draw of cars, it's
Just
competitive.
save a bunch of time and just run a practice tree.
But why not? When did it transition? I don't know. I mean, Bubba's told me he likes to come participate in a full field
Well,
of
sure, who
cars, and
wouldn't?
that's great. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
But these guys really need to be put way up on the pedestal for being the quickest out there, and that's what we're going to be doing. So, they're the baddest, they're the quickest. I don't give a shit what series you run in. There is, I mean, that's what fucking drag racing is about. Who's the fastest? Who's the quickest?
There's only
Who's
one
gonna win?
person out there that can say they're faster than Bubba right now. So,
Yeah,
Turbo Todd. Respect.
Turbo Todd and Scruggs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Scruggs. That's right.
Scruggs and Todd, and that's cool, man. But I am, so I guess the guys just have to make, I guess in the big scheme of things, it's, and what's a, I don't know. I think we just keep plugging away and we're doing what we're doing like we are.
Yeah, shit.
And as we build it, they will come. The guys will strip the weight and want to come run Bubba and Doug and all the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys out there like Kelly that want to go faster and aren't happy at a cap. So if there's no other place to do it, here you are.
There it is.
The fact the guy outdrove everyone there when all cars were created even. Oof.
He did. No shit. He killed the light every time. He was consistent. He fucking killed the light. I mean, and that's what it is. It's just like that's what makes that's what makes anything the best is consistency. Just consistency. From what I've read and I understand, Kai's run that setup. Who knows how many laps he's made in that car, that setup per se. And they've just got to fine tune. They had their foundation. They continued to build on it. They run lap after lap after lap after lap. On top of that, he's running quasi no prep surfaces. And shit. Then he gets on a prep surface like that. It's just a couple fucking tweaks to the tuning and dude's gone. You know what I mean? So I almost wonder if that does give them guys a little bit of an advantage because they are sort of used to making huge swings and adjustments on shitty prep surfaces, and then they go out there where because right, you talk about consistency.
Mm-hmm.
If they're used to running on a surface that's not consistent, but they're consistent on their tunes and they have to do their best to tune to that fucking surface, well, then they come somewhere where the track prep is perfect, where it needs to fucking be. Boom, a couple fucking tweaks, cut down the tree every fucking swing. Boom, winner, chicken dinner. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion from the outside looking in. I'm not going to act like I'm a pro and know everything about it, but from the outside looking in, that's my opinion. So, good job, Kai.
Indeed.
I wonder what that means for him now.
I mean, really, whatever he wants to do at this point, there isn't anything that could or should stop him.
He literally broke the fucking internet.
Yeah.
The drag racing internet, that is.
I mean, by just coming in there and kind of making a fool of a lot of folk a little bit.
I mean, it was good, dude. It was good.
There's some crow being eaten this weekend.
Man, crow pies all over the place, huh?
I'm sure whole Stevie Jackson's pit was full of it. he's always talking that mess beforehand. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, and what's funny is that there's all kinds of people talking shit about, like pro mods talking shit about no prep kings and this and this and that. And then after Kai won, you got Lyle Barnett and what's her nuts, like immediately running over to him. Hey, you want to be on the Shake and Bake podcast and this and that? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then to watch Swanstrom just totally fucking bash him like, oh, now you guys want some Sesame Street action. Like it's funny. I don't know where they came up with that term. I don't know how
NPK,
they came up
because it's letters, Sesame Street.
Oh,
James says, I'm still confused why everyone is acting like steel roof and quarters mattered when all cars weighed the same.
That's right.
Advantage with the wheelbase.
That's right. That's right. Well, I wonder though. I mean, he can't lose weight per se, right? Like, so if he's
Didn't,
already
I
at,
didn't need
I
to.
mean, unless he didn't, maybe he just didn't have to add any. Maybe he was already at weight
He could
for
have been
his.
at that magic number or just needed to add 20 pounds to
Yeah,
make it happen. So I don't think that the steel was actually disadvantageous to him. Now, the wheelbase could have been, but his reaction time overcompensated for that. So, is there any
yeah,
weight
because
difference
it's not like he was
between the
heavier.
cars?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he may have been.
He may
Um,
have been.
he may
That
have
that's the question. Like, was he heavier or did he weigh the same as everybody else?
I mean, he couldn't weigh any less than anybody else.
It's just like
So we know
wrestling.
that.
Everybody cutting weight to get on the scales. Fun.
All the fun tricks. Old big country laid it down on him. The heck of a show, no doubt about that. At least
Yeah.
from the clips and things I saw on the internet, I wasn't going to pay for Flow Racing to watch it, so
Oh fuck no.
I went ahead and just followed Facebook, put in my bet with old Uncle Steve, and rode Kai Kelly into the winner's circle.
Yeah. Right.
James says steel roofing quarters versus carbon body might be 30-pound difference.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's just 6 months of fasting, really. Or that shit, that's just a few good dumps after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, very well could be.
Very well could be.
Very well could be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, I would say that's probably the biggest news out there these days. And then I guess Murder Nova is going to be, as Eric was saying, where'd his comment go? There it is. Murder Nova car that Keith Haney owns looks nice. And I do agree. It was a very nice looking Camaro, of course, but very nice looking all the same.
Yeah. So Sean is.
I guess he's driving that for him in the whatever the next race is. And that
Sean's driving Keith Haney's Black Mamba.
no, it's a blue and black Camaro.
It's like a light blue with the black racing stripes.
Yeah,
Okay.
from memory. Yeah, I just saw it on Facebook today. So yeah, I'm just going off what I'd seen there.
So what's he doing? It's a Keith Haney owns the car and he's just driving it.
That's what Eric said. That's where I was gleaning that bit of information from. But I know that he's driving somebody else's car at the next race.
Yeah, because I know he's going pro mod racing in 25 next year.
So it doesn't matter if 2550 is minimum weight and you race at 2750. You're the dummy that decided to weigh 200 pounds.
Right. Right.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. There it is. You got it.
James fixing to go on a fast of the dragster light now.
Amen. Fast it up, bro. I would do one fast a month for 72 hours if you can make it that far. It's not hard. It's just willpower. Just drink water the first day and then beef or chicken broth on like a couple cups of chicken or beef broth on day 2 and 3. Dude, you'll be blown away about how amazing you feel come day 2 and 3.
Blowing away the toilet. Cleaning it out.
Keith said he would never drive that car because he's a nitrous car. Oh, so is this a blower car, I presume?
I don't remember that detail. To be honest with you, I just saw the colors and I said, "Oh, pretty," and I kept moving. Not a car guy, as we've all established. So those sorts of things, right over my head.
Well, you know what though, you're learning, man. You're learning, and honestly, you've got some very intimate understandings of a lot of a big part of drag racing. That I think a lot of people.
I do remember reading that it is a turbo car.
It is a turbo car, yeah, because I just saw a picture of it, and it does not have a blower hanging out.
Yeah, I couldn't remember seeing one, but I do remember reading turbo now.
That's a smart move, man. That's a smart move. I'm telling you, dude. Turbos.
Haley says so. Liquid diet for James, because yep, Haley, you're going to be in a lot of control of that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. If you need any advice on fasting or whatnot, I can kind of walk you through it. Done it about 1 million times over the past 20 years, and it is pretty fucking amazing. And what else I would do is If you have the balls, son, which I know you do, James, get yourself a puller plunge if you can stick it somewhere outside the shop or just somewhere, man, and try to get
He's
over
actually
there
moving.
once.
He'll have space here coming up soon. He's getting ready to move.
Oh, good, man. Housewarming party. Adam will have to go take a trip.
He'll be shooting. He'll be heading down more towards the Huntsville area.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, I'll shoot you a message, man. Yeah, I got you. It's super easy. You just have to have the mental fortitude to be able to make it 3 days. The first day is the hardest because your body's purging the chemical that makes you hungry. Second day, 48 hours in, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. I'd recommend drinking tea or coffee or something in the morning. Yeah, that's pretty normal. It's kind of Carter. What's good?
Turbo got that mile per hour at the finish line. It will clip any pro. Turbo's making a hell of a jump. Technology is making some advancements, and turbo is going to be a problem real soon.
I had this epiphany the other night. I was talking about who was I talking this with? I was talking to Billadu about it. I said, look, if blowers are the torque monsters, right? If a screw blower,
fucking doper, you do purge chemicals
all the time. So, if a blower is the torque monster, right? And it's meant for just out of the hole, instant torque, gone,
Yep,
right?
no
but
delay.
Turbo, you got to build it up, so on and so forth. I'm surprised that somebody hasn't figured out how to use a blower to get out of the hole and the turbos to figure out the back half of the race. Like
some sort of combo.
It'd be super cool if somebody had a blower turbo combo. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't see why that doesn't happen. I guess maybe that's sort of what a Pro Charger is in a way, kind of. I don't know.
Dan Lucas says, "Thank God I'm skinny. Have to run around in the shower to get wet." Boost is boost.
Oh, I don't know, man. I get that, but I feel like there's the boost is different at certain times, right? Like I feel like the propensity of turbo cars to once the turbos get figured out, I have a feeling the turbo cars will be faster than the screw blown cars. I believe that. 3-letter word.
I can guess.
So, we'll see. But I do believe that there's an opportunity there for turbos to. I mean, look, some of the fastest have been turbos. Todd.
I think Todd is the fastest.
He is the fastest. Yeah.
So it's hard to knock what a turbo can do. I mean, really, if it can.
I mean, look at the guys from Australia, dude. Look what they just did in that turbo car. They fucking smashed that world record. It was they run a 5.4 at 270 something, 280 something in a quarter.
I could see turbo cars really being the quarter mile kings with that little bit extra distance toward the turbo. If it's got enough to compensate for the loss at the finish line before it actually kicks in, and it's got enough to take you beyond that and make up that difference, yeah, a quarter mile of turbos is really where it's at.
You don't know what you're talking about, Adam.
Exactly what I'm talking about. I'll break down schematics and equations here.
Schematics and equations.
Blowers and turbos are all air compressor. Fair statement? I believe so.
Blowers and turbos, all air compressors.
If we want to look at it in a loosest,
yes, they are. Yes, yeah.
That's the 3-letter word I was thinking.
I mean, but don't get me wrong, man. I'm a huge. I just love blowers, man. I mean, it's just something I've always loved. I love the sound of them. I love the power they make. Turbos aren't really visceral to me. They're just super quiet. Might as well be an electric car, I mean, not all Chase 9.
With the Golden Gator dragster, fed a blower with a turbo, destroyed belts every run. Turbo outperformed the blower. I mean, maybe he needed to talk to Daco because that we might be
Maybe.
able to fix that. But yeah,
So there it is. So somebody did try that. I mean, it makes sense. Use the blower to get out of the hole.
mhm.
Use the turbo. Use the blower to spool the turbo, and it's certain somewhere 100, 200. I mean, I guess you ease into it, but use that blower for that first initial getting out of the hole, and then spool those turbos up and finish off with the turbos. Amen. Right there
Supercharger.
with you, Brian. Byron. Sorry, I said Brian. I don't have my glasses on. If you could tell, I'm squinting like a wild man right now.
James says that, but he has trucks that has a turbo.
Hiding his
He's hiding
gayness.
his gayness.
Uh,
He has never once hid that from me. I'll tell you that much.
uh,
Nitrous spools turbos. Okay, that makes sense. If you give a
I
nitrous
mean,
boost to give the pump to take out the blower from the equation.
I think that's one way you could do it, right?
I think it's probably
Could
the
use
most
nitrous to
economical and weight.
spool the turbo.
It's probably the most weight conscious without adding an extra blower. You can just add a shot of nitrous or whatever to it to get you there to let the turbo take over and go.
I just don't. I think, and again, man, I'm not a mechanic, but I am.
Never mind.
I am very mechanically inclined, and I can. Anyways,
I can
I
understand.
believe that. I believe that it's possible somebody could make it happen, and they would just take out everybody. A blower meets turbos.
That's a fact, Haley. That's a fact.
Past gayness. How do you get past gayness?
It's through the anus. Get past gayness through the anus.
That's big factor brings RPM, which in turn makes more back pressure, etc. That makes sense. I get it. I get that. So, but yeah, so I was having this conversation with Billadoo. I was like, well, dude, why don't blowers why don't they use the blowers to spool the turbos and let the turbos finish the job? And he goes, there's a company in Europe that is making those for some exotic cars, but and I was like, you know what? As a matter of fact, my Volvo that I had, no longer have a Volvo. The Volvo was supercharged and turbocharged. So, I don't know if it was just for efficiency, fuel efficiency, or maybe that and power.
I price. They just put it on the sales thing to mark up.
Doesn't do anything. Just
I don't know. Did you ever see it under the hood? I don't know. I would have never looked, to be honest.
Oh, you could hear it. You could hear you could hear the after the, what do you call that? The release, the turbo gate, pressure gate, or whatever that was. You could hear it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Only way to get past that is to be on submarine that imploded looking at Titanic.
What a foolish endeavor they went on.
No kidding. So got the wife a new minivan.
Nice.
Last weekend, so that's nice. Grand Caravan took a shit. I ran the hell out of it. Did some neutral drops at a car show with the family in it. Just to do a burnout with everybody. I mean, why not hit a few beers? I told the kids to buckle up, and so revved it up to about $5,000, dumped it, and did a pretty killer burnout. That was fun. And 3 months later, transmission went out, and that's cool. No big deal. So we just went ahead and got a new one. I remember when Kenny first started ADRL and allowed the nitrous cars to run blower cars with no weight. Nitrous cars were getting the belt put on them so bad he made a class just for them. Yeah, so we kind of went back to that, Eric. That's what we call the Crucible now. We went back to drove it into Adam. Eric, yeah, we have one now called the Crucible, where we put the blower cars and the nitrous cars together. We just weren't getting a huge nitrous turnout, and they just weren't really performing at the blow. Just in general, they just weren't performing or showing up. No big deal. So I said, hey, we're just going to combine them. So, hey, you know what? In the spirit of ADRL and run what you brung, I believe it makes sense, because if you want to be the quickest and you're going to run in the ADRL, then, you either accept that there's going to be guys faster than you, or you build something else. I don't know.
Or another idea or option is find some more friends with some nitrous cars to show up at the races to justify the extension of a just nitrous class, and hey, let's get
Right.
it going. But as we know from the 2024 fastest passes list, Doug Reister in number 3 spot, not far off from Bubba and Frankie in first place in his nitrous cars. So it's not impossible.
Yeah, right. Not impossible. Nope. Reister puts it on him, man. He does. And look, all he's got to be, I mean, we saw that at XRP. And he's consistent. You know, he's just like Kai Kelly, man. He's consistent. He kills the tree. And I mean, he almost got Frankie. That was some great racing. Let's see. Rodney Butler. Yeah, you know, he was at our race in Huntsville. And it was great talking to him. He's a really cool cat. And he was struggling a little bit to get it down the track.
Yeah, Bubba sure did teach us that lesson, didn't he?
Yeah, or if you can't beat them, just buy their shit. I mean, it is what it is.
It worked. It worked.
Even when we didn't have a good amount, Doug decided that the rest of the field was too slow for him, so he ran against per string car. Yeah,
Doug's got no fear. He will take that car up against any other car that wants to line up against him, and he doesn't give two shits about it.
No, he doesn't.
He's going to go out there. He's going to give you his damnedest, which is pretty much what you see every time, and it's just because he's consistently giving you his all every single time, and he's going to give you trouble no matter what. Okay, you get caught slipping, and Doug gets caught in the winner's circle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's completely right, man. And he's done it before. He has done it before.
I'm just saying, if we're ever at a race and someone decides they need to own the fastest dragster, it can be sold.
Yeah, everything is for sale. Everything.
But you're gonna need real deep pockets, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Especially when you got a car that's gone viral, like your dragster did.
No doubt.
Oh, what kind of van did we buy? Yes, Darlene. We bought a. I'm a Mopar fan. I'll just say it. I have been since I was born. That's what I came home from the hospital in, was a 70 Cuda, a canary yellow. And so since I was a kid, man, I've been a Mopar junkie. But we got a Chrysler Pacifica. And it's a nice Pacifica. It's fully decked out. It's the limited. You couldn't go any higher of a trim level because then you lost the stow and go. The other reason we went with the Pacifica is it is the only minivan that has stow and go, which I love. I mean, I've moved so much shit in our old Caravan with that stow and go. I mean, Adam and I had motorcycles in there with, 2 races worth of t-shirts, banners.
Yeah,
10, I mean,
goad.
Damn, no shit. I mean, you can really pack the hell out of it. So after doing more research, there is no other auto manufacturer that makes a stow and go. That's unique to the to that Chrysler brand. So yeah, 24 Pacifica. It's nice, all-wheel drive, limited. It's everything my wife wanted, so that was great. So then we go to and they gave me money. Well, here's what's funny. So I went back up there today to get the paperwork, and the salesman that sold us our vehicles isn't there anymore. And I was wondering why he gave me so much money for a minivan, that the transmission had gone out and had been in 2 accidents, missing trim pieces. Like, it was all fucked up. And he gave me way more than I was expecting for it. So that was good. Now it makes sense. He was probably like, fuck it, I'm out. I'll hook you guys up. Unknowingly, he hooked us up. Yeah. So yeah, got a good deal on the Caravan. So then I went back on Monday to give them the title for the Caravan, and they had a nice Jeep Wrangler JL 24 JL Wrangler in there, just standard Wrangler, but it was lifted on 35s. It was white, really nice, all custom upholstery. That doesn't come, I mean, full on custom. It was really beautiful upholstery, and not like gaudy, tacky shit. I mean, it matched the Jeep. With all kinds of other accessories. I mean, they threw in running boards and all weather mats and damn exoskeleton doors that you put on when you take off your normal doors. And anyways, so yeah, they got us good. I bought a brand new minivan, a brand new Jeep in 4 days. Wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, it's not what you go in planning for, but hey.
But they gave me the dude hooked me up with the trade-in on the Volvo, man. I was like, damn. I'm like, how do I not do it? And then I go down there today. I was like, hey, where's Dave? I want to talk about my running boards. Oh, Dave doesn't work here anymore. I'm like, oh.
Got
Shit.
fired for selling people cars for way too cheap.
Yeah, for for giving people way too much money for their trade-ins.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was great. So, anyways, yep. So that's what I got, Darlene. I got that brand new Pacifica.
Oh, Vaughn
Been giving Santa a present he got from.
from Target all day today.
Gotten you a friend discount on both vehicles. So, Darlene, let me address that real quick. So, here's what's beautiful about it. And thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like to air my business, my personal business. So, you won't ever see me getting on Facebook asking for people's help. I don't know. It could be childhood trauma, too, that causes me to be so fiercely independent. I don't want anybody's fucking help.
Should have bought a race car to go against Wes Buck.
Does Wes Buck have a race car? Dude, I would love that. I would love nothing more.
Talking about it. Some gray on gray crime. You too. Both your gray hairs out there.
Great. Yeah, and they're fucking mohawks.
You're racing it out. Yeah.
Fuck you, Wes. I had mine first.
You guys got a race for the hawk.
I've had a mohawk for 20 years.
Winner gets to keep the hawk. Loser shaves.
Loser shaves. I'm ready for that shit.
That'd be a race.
Fucking right, it would be a race.
Talk to him up at PRI.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I'll do it. I don't give a shit. Just some heads up shit. I don't know. I'll have to go get my license, but I'll do it. And I ain't scared. I don't give a shit. It's probably stupid for me to do that, but I don't care. Yes. I can hop out of a ball of flame.
Somehow Vaughn learned how to flip people off, and he's been flipping off a fake Santa today. And then went to Walmart with him, and he decided to flip off the real dude.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a great picture of him. He's doing it just right too.
He's got an old Corvette with a small block Chevy. All right. Well, I've got in my garage. I've got a 70 Cutlass with a blown 454 in it, and I just had the whole back half rebuilt by Beelman and Bickle. So I could run him in that, I suppose. But yeah, Darlene. So my father-in-law was a finance manager for Chrysler for 45 years. So not only did we get ridiculous trade-in amounts, but I also got the family and friend discount on both the vehicles. So it worked out good. It did work out good. But I appreciate you saying that, ma'am. I appreciate that. So Darlene, do you work for Chrysler? Is that how you can do that? I could have gotten you a friend discount on both your new vehicles. I'll have to keep that in mind because the guy that was our hookup is no longer there. So if I want to go get a Hellcat or a Trackhawk or something, maybe I'll hit you up. Although I don't think they do the green. I guess they call them green deals, green cards, green slips. It's a green something when you get the family and friends discount. Green paper. I don't know what they call it, but I don't think you can get that for the Hellcats or the Trackhawks, unfortunately. I don't have any business buying one of them, but they sure do. They sure are fun.
They sure do get stolen a lot.
Yeah, they do. I mean, why wouldn't you steal them?
Yeah,
if you're going to steal cars, that'd be the first one that I'd fucking steal.
Yeah, if I need to get away, I want to do it fast.
Yeah, right, exactly. I worked for Mopar, which is owned by Chrysler. Yes. What'd you do for Mopar, Darlene? For Mopar. I love Mopar. Mopar or no car. Watching that Hellcat spank everybody's ass at XRP was fun.
James, you were right.
We're getting off.
You have to have a green card to drive one. Yep.
All right.
Enjoy that B-Day.
Yep.
Get your shit packed. Get ready.
B-Day or B-Get. I don't got nothing.
He already covered that one.
Yeah, he did.
So now it's just B-Days, all that's left.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. At the I guess at one of the assembly plants or something. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you letting me know that, Darlene. I'll keep that in mind next time because we may have lost our except for my father-in-law. But I don't know if it's a permanent thing or how that works. So unloaded trucks. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's fun.
Good question, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much have it. There was a setback because somebody wanted to do a race with us, and so I was working that out, and then they decided to not do that, and Now I'm in the process of working backwards on that. I mean, we pretty much have it. So, um, I mean, there's two of them. I'm sure if you know, you know. Um,
I'm pretty sure
it'll
you
be
know.
similar to next
Pretty
year.
sure Buddy knows one of them. He's got it on his calendar
Yeah, for
from what
sure.
I'd seen on Facebook. So that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good.
yeah. So we all know for sure. Well, do we want to do it all at once or?
I don't. Me personally, no.
Yeah, I mean, so
I want to rip
I
the
mean, I
band-aid
think
off
it doesn't
the first
matter.
two for sure.
Yeah. So there you go.
Damn right, buddy.
You got it, buddy. You got it.
If it's already out there, I'd say just go with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, so for sure, April Valdosta or South Georgia Motorsports Park,
I believe
and we're
that's
going to
the
be
11th
running with
and 10th.
Verge.
Is it the 11th and 10th, or 10th and 11th, or 11th and 12th?
Of April. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. The
I feel like
dates
it might
just
be
get
11th
blurred in my
and 12th.
brain. We'll be there with Verge, so that'll be a good race. It'll be a lot of cars, a lot of fun, a lot of action. So excited about that. And then the other one that came out was US 60 in October. So we will be at US 60 Dragway in October.
We don't know that for sure, Eric. Things can change, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Dallas Mopar Parts Division. Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, I worked for Mopar as well. A friend of mine owned a vehicle service contract company, and they had they were the official dealer for Mopar vehicle service contracts. So for a short stint, before I got into my gig back in the day, I sold Mopar vehicle service contracts with a buddy of mine. So I was very familiar with the process and how they work. That was back when you could get a lifetime warranty. Mopar was offering a lifetime unlimited mileage warranty on their vehicles. I guess that didn't work out so good for them. So
Speaking of things not working out so well, saw a news story today. Since this is still a little bit of bet you didn't know, and we're still in transition. Missouri couple was arrested for a DIY home circumcision that they had attempted to perform on their child. That
get the fuck out of here.
did not go well. Did not go well.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. A utility knife was used.
What?
Basic Googling for the procedure and a prayer for for a blessing from God was all that was done prior to this at-home circumcision. And then when something went wrong, the amount of blood was alarming and overwhelming. So they decided to take the child to the hospital, where then the parents have been arrested. They're looking at 17 years for the father and 10 years for the mother. Imagine, dude. What the hell?
What in the fuck were they thinking?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy?
Brian, yes.
Sorry, I got to. The chat hasn't caught up with us all. But
yeah, you work for the corporation? Yes. Well, well, I guess I don't know if you know this or not too, Darlene, but the CEO of Chrysler, well, the whole whatever, the guy that just got hired on 2 or 3 years ago, he's stepped down. He's out. So they're gonna guess have to hire a new CEO for that organization. I don't even know what it was. It was Fiat Chrysler. It was Fiat Chrysler when I was there. I don't know what it is now. It's kind of had its
transitions.
Yeah, per se. Yes. So anyways, that
Rebranded.
CEO is gone.
So you've got kids. Would you ever consider some sort of medical procedure like that?
No, man. Well, here's what I'll tell you this though. They pushed him out. Yeah, I mean he was fucking everything up. From what I understand, it was not good. Pushed him out. Stepped down. I mean, you got to step down if you get pushed out, or fell down. However you want to look at it. He fell down, got pushed out. The only, I would say the only somewhat medical procedure I've ever done on any of my kids. I mean, you always have teeth extractions.
Sure.
You always have, deep splinters that sometimes require a little extra.
Yeah, a little.
I've never given my kids their own sutures. When Riley was like 4, she had gotten staph. And she ended up getting these big blisters all over her butt cheeks, and it was, I mean, and I don't know where we couldn't really figure out where she got it from either. It was from the daycare or who knows how she got it,
Mhm.
but they were just so big and brutal that I made her grab the sink, man, and I popped every one of those bad boys, dude. It was bad. I mean, it looked like some shit off the YouTube videos, man. It was bad news. And I mean, she screamed like a banshee. There was a lot of pus and a lot of blood, and it was
Yeah.
fucking gross as shit. But when we went to the doctors, to her pediatrician the next day or two, he said it was a really good thing that I did that. He goes, most people wouldn't have, but it's a good thing you did that. So I mean, that's about it, honestly.
Yeah.
No, nothing beyond that. I never tried to
Circumcise.
circumcise. I'd never tried to circumcise Emmett.
That's good.
Don't chisel teeth. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just kind of weird and fucked up. Were they crackheads? Were they from Springfield area?
No, there wasn't really a clear indication, and I'm almost with the prayer for a blessing being mentioned and added in there. You wonder if it's maybe one of those kind of religious sects that doesn't go for medical stuff or doesn't deal with doctors, doesn't believe in it. It's one of those things that, prayer and God will heal you, whatever. I don't know. I can't imagine or understand what would lead somebody to that decisioning that they're going to undertake that on their own.
Yeah, I mean, you're altering. I mean, at that point, you might as well. I mean, is that any different than giving your kids piercing your kids' ears?
I think so.
I mean, what if you did it and you like hit a vein or some? I mean, which
Well,
isn't
that's that's
possible, but
that's the
like,
thing. In an ear, you're safe and sound. Down there, that's all that it is vein.
so it's okay to modify your child as long as it doesn't bleed that much.
Um,
I'm just saying. I mean, I know people that have pierced their kids' ears.
sure, but I think piercing ears,
Can you
yeah.
pierce an ear per versus piercing your kid's lip? What if somebody's 5-year-old daughter wanted
I
her
just
lip
don't
pierced?
see. I don't think piercing's quite the equivalent. I understand and I get that it is a body modification, but I think this would be more in lines of like,
Mutilation?
yeah, of almost like people that cut their tongue in half to be like lizards, or completely gauging out your ears to a ridiculous type. It's a body modification, but it's more extreme because this involves removal of actual flesh, not
Mm.
just piercing through flesh. It's actual removal.
So do you think branding your child would be
I'd, I'd,
bad?
I'd probably draw a line there. Yeah,
Hmm. You're not removing anything. You're just kind of burning it, scarring them for life.
sure, sure.
But so is a piercing.
No, piercing's removable.
Yeah, but it leaves a hole there forever. I mean, you are taking out a chunk of the ear hole.
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's like
Brian Elliott says, "I wish my parents would have tried an extension. It would have been worth the risk, you know." Never know until you try. At least this guy was willing to try, so we got to give him that.
yeah. Oh my god, that's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, I saw that story today, and I was like, I got to bring this up on the podcast. There's just no way I can not mention it. But really, the only other topic I had for the podcast, which I guess we can cover in kind of the last few minutes, we got to rename this thing.
Oh yeah. So Tuesday night. Let's see. How about outside the rails?
Not horrible. Let me run through a couple I got here.
Okay.
I've got the Red
Stupid.
Bands, the Red Bands Pod.
I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. It's too much. I don't like it.
But there's Red Band is a podcaster that's out there, so it's a little bit of a play on them, but it would also get views. But the Red Bands, restricted bands, that's kind of where I was thinking on that.
Oh, restricted. Oh, I see.
So it's more of like a
ADRL's Red Band podcast.
Yeah,
Or it could be Restricted Bands podcast.
restricted seemed too long, so I went with the Red Bands Plus,
But
like I
if
said,
anybody has never heard of it, and I'm just going back and forth. I hear what you're saying. I I guess my only rebuttal to that is if people heard it, would they know? What does that mean?
probably not. Possibly not. Probably not.
Oh, Steve.
Oh boy,
It's funny. We just went on a fucking earlier,
that's
right when
about,
we started the podcast. It
that was
was a
about
good
20
15
minutes.
minute
It was about
fucking banger
25.
of what in the absolute fuck. I mean, bottom line is the word outlaw is gone. It's been bastardized. It's been passed around
Steven's
like a
close.
little Egyptian boy.
Steven's close on my favorite that I've got. I've got the ADRL Outlaw Hour.
This doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, we might as well put on
Exactly.
fucking. We might as well put
Exactly.
on unicorn fucking heads and rainbow capes.
That was half the point. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
It doesn't mean anything anymore. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, yeah, what's ADRL Outlaw Podcast? What's that even mean? It doesn't nothing. It doesn't mean shit.
The only
That
other one
means whatever you want it to mean.
I got ADRL All Access. That's the only other one that I've got.
You know what, man? I agree, and I don't know, Steven, if you've noticed, man. Like, I'll get fired up. Somebody made a post about Kai Kelly, and
Almost a way to take it back.
and he italicized outlaw. You know, he went out there and outlaw pro mods and beat her. I was like, bro. I was like, so I was defending what outlaw pro mods meant in the real world of outlaw pro mods. And he got all defensive. Well, it's their outlaw rules package, and I'm like, but that's not outlaws. He's like, and you italicized outlaw. So if you're gonna fucking bring up outlaw and italicize it, I'm gonna jump on it and let you know that it's my duty to correct you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's the Verge Quick Outlaw series, which is all index racing. You have Outlaw Snowbird, or it's not fucking outlaw. So
it's been bastardized.
It doesn't hold any weight anymore. It does to some of us. So we've got to retool the idea of what it means to be a genuine ADRL run what you brung drag racing. And
no rules racing.
No rules racing. That's it. Bottom. That's it. And Adam, that's exactly where my mind was at. And even run what you brung door slammer. Somebody's going to take that.
Too wordy. Dragsters aren't
too wordy.
Slammers.
Yeah, right.
Classes, so I like the no rules racing because it covers it all.
Yeah, 100%. ADRL, no rules drag racing. That's it. Bottom line.
It's not outlaw. It's outlaw. It was outlaw testing. I will give them that at those Drag Illustrated Winter Series and Winter Nationals. Shakedown this, shakedown whatever.
It's funny they didn't do it this time.
It's outlaw testing in some of them,
but they can't. But here's the thing: you can say that, but they're set up to put weights on, which means most of them have already moved their drivetrain either forward or back. Like you can't just pull the weights off and go run. You have a whole car set up for weight.
But they do. Todd did. He couldn't run a 4.
He did.
3, 4,
yes,
5,
he did.
3 with weight.
Yeah. You're right. But most of those guys have purpose built things.
100% wheelbase and Kai himself. Those are the two main factors, the two main variables. He had disadvantage on the one side with the wheelbase, but he had the major advantage with him behind the wheel.
Yeah. I mean, he's cutting that tree down all day. I mean, it is. I mean, look, we all know that it is. I mean, it's not invite only. I mean, you want to call it invite only, but it's not. I mean, it's pretty much every pro mod on the East Coast going over there and some from out here in the Midwest. But
he probably was at pro mod weight if given the weight minimum alterations based on the combination for your car, he very well could have been running at minimum weight for what his weight additives would have been based on the rules package for this outlaw series that ran.
Darlene, I think Clyde called it run what you brung, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. At least that's kind of how we've sort of had those conversations. But it is not outlaw anymore. It is no rules drag racing, bottom line. Well, West Buck said he turned away over 70 pro mods and it was invice rate. I mean,
I say things.
Dude, look, here. Let's put it this way. Wes Buck said he turned away 7 pro mods, but he's hosting an event that says Outlaw Pro Mod Racing. And we know it's not Outlaw Pro Mod Racing. and he wants to say that, you know, it's the biggest race in the world and they've got no spectators. No, I got you. No, I 100%. I get it. So, you know, I mean, it's a big sales pitch. It is what it is. I mean,
and how many pro mods?
Well, look, I'm not hating. They had a fucking huge field. There was
64.
64 pro mods showed up. That's fucking awesome.
So then you're telling me that there was an additional 70 pro mods that were out there that were banging on the door to get down to this race. That's
they were dying to pay $2,500 to participate, if not more, 3,500.
So 130 pro mod cars out of the estimated 240-ish maybe total pro mod cars that are in the US were wanting to attend that race. Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, here's the thing is that we know that there was only 2 or 3 guys from Midwest that went out there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 2 or 3 guys from the Midwest that went out there. I know for damn sure there's not over 100 pro mods in the PDRA. I know that for sure. So the math doesn't add up. People can lie, but math doesn't.
They had a lot of Prep King. They did not tap into any of the ADRL because they're not going to put on weight for that bullshit. So
said he had over 100 calls. Yeah, we saw that, Darlene. Yep.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see that go down. Hopefully he can get in there and shake some things up.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, all I'll say is promoters say a lot of shit.
Look, here's the thing.
He says it's an outlaw race. I mean,
I'm going to tell you guys this, dude. I'm going to tell anybody that's watching, I'm going to tell you this. You will never get bullshit, snake oil, fucking double talk, promoter bullshit out of my mouth, ever. I will always call it like it is. I will never... Look, I understand hyping up your race, but we do shit with character and integrity and fucking competence. That's what we do. You know, and so
and compassion.
And I'm just gonna tell you, that I think it is a promoter's job per se to amp things up and build things up. But sure. I mean, you know, when you see through the bullshit, you're like, man, come on, like, get the fuck out of here. And that's one thing no one will ever say about me, about us, or about the ADRL. There is never any bullshit. There won't be any fucking bullshit. It is as transparent and upfront as possible, so everybody knows where they stand and what the real deal is. I ain't got to fucking lie to. I got to make bullshit up to make it more, you know, appealing. You know, whatever.
I'm not a punch puller or anything like that. So if anybody wants the straight shit from me, ask me. I will tell you the straight shit. But Steven, to this, wish y'all came up Northeast and race. I'm trying, buddy.
Adam's really really pushing to get me to put a race on up there. And again, this will come to the whole, I'll be upfront as transparent as possible. It concerns me going into an entirely different market when I'm so green on this side of the fence as a promoter and I don't have the deep pocket of connections of pro mod guys. It concerns me to go up there to pay out a purse and not have a turnout of cars. You know, I mean, and that's really what it boils down to, because I know it would take time, right? And so we come up there and have a race, and then the next time around, maybe we draw some more. You know, it's tough enough in pro mod. For me right now, it's tough enough in pro mod country to get a good, solid 16 car field. You know, and fuck, we're 2 years in, going on our 3rd year in. You know, I mean, the ADRO had a lot of, bumps and hurdles to get over to get to this point. So I think it's just going to take a little longer, you know, stay in our lanes. I got my fucking blinders on and we're grinding and we're putting on the races. They're fast. The racers love it. I don't always make the best decisions as far as, like, you know, just in general. You know, there's a learning curve. I'll just put it that way. There's a learning curve, but 100% of everybody understands it, you know, and it is what it is. And if you're not, you're a pretentious fucking crybaby, and I don't want you racing with me anyways. So it is what it is. I don't have time for that shit.
But we are trying to get back up there. We're making our way up there a little bit with that second race that was announced earlier in the episode. So we're catching a little bit north.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Keep on watching. We'll continue to have the races out there on the social medias and on YouTube as well.
Yeah, we're going to build the ADRL archives. I have so many beta tapes that have to be digitized and put on the website. So, financially, that is a huge
it's an
undertaking. It's not fucking cheap just to do one tape. Yeah, I mean, it's almost worth just buying my own converter. I think we even talked about that, right, Adam?
We've looked into it. It's
so
it's the price
expensive.
of the converter, and then on top of it, the hours and hours.
An hour. Oh, that's right. I mean, endless amount of hour. I mean, every video is a day or two long, and it can't be chopped up. I mean, it's the real deal.
It's not that it can't be done. It's just, boy, it's
hell yeah,
really,
Dragapalooza, brother.
it's right on that line of worth it to pay for it to not have to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think it's a huge opportunity to be able to monetize that old stuff, right? So we get it digitized, we make some digital copies, and you won't be able to rip it. It is a lot. It's a lot. And we're talking like every race from 07, 08 on, I mean, there's a lot of it. We have the uncut versions of ADRL behind the scenes stuff, stuff Kenny was making back then, which is pretty ingenuitive, man. Honestly, got mine from Raceworks.
It's DVD.
Huh? Who's Raceworks? And when was that?
Would have definitely been years and years ago.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm not familiar with Raceworks.
You hadn't run across them.
Mm-mm. No, Motor Mania TV is. I know that they did a lot of stuff with us initially. But yeah, man. So, anyways, Outlaw. So we've officially let that turd go down the river. I hate to say that, but it is decomposed at this point, and
I'll
it's
still
just
plant the flag whenever the opportunity arises on social media, just to continue to make the stand that the word's being used inappropriately. But
yeah, and I will. I'm out there.
I'm not anticipating that it's going to change anything, or that anybody's going to be like, "Oh my God, yeah, we are using grammar and wording completely incorrectly."
Yeah. So again, to Adam's point, we're the American Drag Racing League.
No
Oh yeah, what classes do you have? No rules drag racing classes. That's what we have. We're the home of no rules drag racing. The kings of no rules drag racing. The godfather of no rules 8th mile drag racing. There you go, folks. We'll call it the No Rules Mafia.
Ner. ADRL or ner. No rules racing.
No rules. Ner.
Ner.
Yeah. Ner. Ner. So, yep. That's all good. It is what it is.
Yes, indeed.
It is what it is.
Look who comes in late.
Mike. There he is. I was wondering, where's Mike at?
Let's break down of running radial and big tires at the same races. Don't do it. Pretty sure y'all have said that before. There just isn't a good way to go about it.
I mean, you can't like prep one side, and I mean, you could do like an exhibition, prep one side and not the other, and do like some exhibition races, which would be cool because I'd love to see like Bubba or Frankie run Stevie fast.
Sure,
tell Stevie and all those guys to strip their weight and come out and do some exhibition races against our fastest fucking guys. I'd say bring that shit. I want to tell you, John Sullivan, the landlord, that man's on a fucking mission. I'm telling you right now, he's got Clyde and RJ building him. I'm telling you, it's going to be.
Shh, Steven, stop it. Dude, quit reading my mind and putting it out there.
Oh yeah, we've already we've already had that conversation. Yeah. Yep. And hey, man, I mean, it's possible. It's just tough to get a lot of these guys out there to do this thing. I mean, they're already taking the winter off per se to go to Florida and do this race, and it's tough to drag people all the way. It's all good, man. Yeah, no, you hit it right on the head. That's absolutely it. I mean, yeah, I mean that's how you do it. Um, but it
You'll
would
be
be
able
hard to
to.
drag them guys. Is there a pro mod? I mean, is there pro mods on the West Coast?
Yes, there are some out in California, yeah,
Hmm.
and in the Nevada area. So yeah, there is a West Coast contingency of them, but it's just there's that desolate, barren wasteland of country that happens between those and Texas. There's just nobody really. There's no middle ground really. There's no.
Somewhere like Oklahoma, Texas, just that whole
Well, I
stretch,
mean, yeah, and that's Midwest. So once
Nevada.
you have to get into like Colorado area, Nevada area, in that sort of setting to really be halfway for anybody. So I think it just makes it difficult. It's not impossible. It's just difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's ideas of going all over the place.
And we can ask John Sullivan some more next week as well when he's on the ADRL Thursday night podcast.
Hell yeah. Keep that in mind. We're going to have the landlord, John Sullivan, joining in with us Thursday night.
Not this Thursday.
On
This
not this
Thursday
Thursday,
will
the,
be
the next
live
Thursday. This Thursday will be live. Yeah.
up at PRI,
Yes,
probably at our
indeed.
Airbnb.
I don't know, Steven. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, we'll be shooting live for sure. I wonder if their XRP prep is more like radio prep. Yeah, for sure. I'll ask anybody. Fuck,
It walks a fine
ask
line.
Bubba. Yeah, it does. I mean, and Clyde straight said, I mean, it is pretty damn close to radio prep for sure. I mean, and you can get away with that in the wintertime. Once it warms up, it's a mess. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah, well, with like Dragpalooza being at the end of the year, November this year, hopefully it gives the opportunity, or some people recognize the opportunity to, like Luis was talking about, bringing out his radio car and showing some people what's what on that XRP track. Since
I mean, Frankie had brought his. I wonder why he didn't run it. I guess he didn't need to. He's too busy smacking ass with his
I mean, yeah,
with that blue bullet, man.
running 3.5 with
Rocket
that
ship.
thing. Once you had that thing lined out, why go anywhere else?
No,
So
man. Yeah, he was just hitting it hard and fast. That's what she said.
yeah, pre-plane days. Yep, he's a,
Yeah,
he's
right.
a different man now.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. You're right, Darlene. But I'm not 100% sure that they.
I mean, the series itself was like
I believe they can get away with prepping it a little extra when it's cooler than they do in the summertime. I could be wrong, but yes, that is they do it for the Ironman all year long.
What's up, John?
John, what's good, dude?
Same guy, just different name.
Same guy, just different name. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how John's turns out, man. John, I hope they got you on the fast track, brother. Hope we can get you ready for April. And John, the one and only who's made it to all 4 races, I feel like we need to give him credit for that somehow, some way.
Participation award.
Yeah, I'd like to
Ryan's a
call it
fan of
something else. Yeah,
Ryan loves those.
fuck no, man. No, it's winner take all. We're changing it. We're changing it. It's winner take all, and runner up gets their fucking entry fee back.
And if you think about it, if
I'm just joking.
If we were running a point series in 2024, John Sullivan would have had a little bit of an advantage just based off of the fact that he attended all the races. So
yeah,
something like that does pay off.
Yeah,
or can pay off.
Could potentially.
We shall see.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm sure John's chomping at the bit. He's like, dang, man. Dang.
John, you going up to PRI, John?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. You going to PRI, buddy? We're going to be there. I'm hanging out with Clyde for a little bit, having some words with him and a whole lot of other people.
Yep. We'll be shaking babies and kissing hands all over the place.
Hell yeah.
John needs a bigger blower. Man.
I don't know, man.
he had his shit pretty lined out coming up to the end of that October mid October race. Boy, he was
Oh,
banging
that's
out those
awesome. Hey, congratulations, John. That's awesome, man.
nice
Yay, Will's graduating college Friday.
grew up
That's
so
great.
fast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's spectacular. I love it. You know, kind of holding your kids' hands through school and getting them in to be young adults, and then they work their way onto college. They keep their shit together. They graduate and keep moving.
Survived the at home circumcisions, and it's all
Oh my
smooth
god.
sailing from there.
Yeah, we were just talking about how some morons in Missouri tried to do a at-home circumcision. You know, very professionally. They
Mm,
used a a utility knife and said a couple prayers, and
mm,
apparently the bleeding was too much for them to handle, so they took them to the hospital. Now they're looking at 17 years. So
yeah. Yeah.
what an absolute fuck, man. Missouri is definitely the show me state. Show me state of
Yeah.
fucking idiots.
Showed me some blood.
Don't forget extensions.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
oh,
Exactly.
oh my Lord Almighty. My gosh. Yeah, so yeah, PRI tomorrow, PA. Guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I could, I guess, call Enterprise in the morning, just say, hey, what do you got?
It's totally up to you. You know, I've
Yeah,
got some backpack and a smallish suitcase for my shoes and hats selection.
yeah. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, we'll go live Thursday from the Airbnb.
Most likely, that's the plan as of right now. But we could be. You never know where we could pop up.
Yeah, right, exactly. We could be shit. I mean, we could just do it there at the damn
Closes at 5, so that was where
ah
that already kicked that idea out. So unless there was some sort of in between party, because Thursday night's also the after party night. So unless there was some sort of an in between, or like a Dan and Al were staying somewhere and they're like, "Ah, come over before the party," and we did it from there. Who knows? Or if we have somebody come kick it beforehand, never know.
oh no, well, there's no doubt about that, Darian. We actually Galen had told me at the beginning of the year that if we wanted to have him come out and prep our races, we would. I mean, we our pro mod race there last year, our ADRL race was awesome last year, and this one we just had was awesome. I mean, our guys were running in the low 50s, 51s and shit, and then 2 or 3 weeks before that, he had Bubba running 47, 49, and 47. I mean, that's fast, man.
It's moving.
And I believe that some of these other guys can, like some of these PDRA and Midwest guys, I believe they could do it too. They just, I don't know. I believe it's not about being the quickest. I think it's more about for some of those guys the competition and
Comfort.
comfort. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man.
He better enjoy it damn right while he can.
Man, I'm telling you, I know.
Coming from that
Before you jumped on, John, I was talking about how you're on a mission, dude. Like I was like, John's on a mission, and you can get that from John. Like John's nice, but you can see through that. You can see the serious side of John. You know, I can see it. I can see deep within. There's the beast in him, and he's like, nah, fuck that. We're coming to kick some ass. We're coming to take it.
will we see low 40s next year?
I believe that's very possible. I do believe it's very possible, especially either in Valdosta or we'll see how US 60 pans out.
Longest
That's
shutdown.
that's going to be. I mean, I know they're putting a whole lot of money into that track, so we'll see how that track works out.
They don't like the idea of underdog beating them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Charles was laying it on, man. Well, and that's funny too because yeah, it's exactly right. You hit it right on the head. Yep. That's right, Doug. Wild man Doug Reister. What was I going to say? Anyways, US 60s should be a pretty quick track too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I believe Eric for sure. 45.
I'm open to see a 4.52. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Man, I want to put up some money for anybody that beats Warriors.
Yeah.
At one of our races. I got some ideas up my sleeve as far as pushing ETs. I don't care about the bump spot and how close the field is and all that kind of shit, man. Look, we are here to be the quickest and be the fucking baddest. And that's it. No rules.
No rules racing.
No rules racing. That's it.
Nar.
We're here to be the baddest. And that's it. Whatever you define as bad, we'll just say quickest. We're here to be the quickest.
4.7.
Oh, he ran a 47,
4.7.
Steven. Yeah. Yep. 47, then a 49, and then a 47. He was the only one bracket racing 40s.
There's been talks and considerations of it.
Yeah, darling, there has been.
It's Darian.
And after what I've heard recently, I believe there's an opportunity there. I would like to see it.
Ooh.
Oh, you and me both. I don't think we're far from it. I don't think we're far from it at all. I don't think we're far from it at all. The conversations, and I keep everything under wraps, man. I'm a fucking lockbox, but I will tell you that this next year is going to be huge. The next 2 years is going to be huge, especially when we talk ADRL, no rules drag racing. I'm telling you guys, shit's about to happen that literally everybody's been waiting 10 or 15 years for. So buckle up.
Yeah. Buckle up, Buttercup.
I can't read that shit. Will you throw that up, PA?
John Sullivan indeed. The car went from struggling to go 3 seconds as a clutched out roots blown car to a 370 as a screw blower now.
Mm-hmm.
Making progress. Steven Jackson Racing says they can do 30s with prep track and time. We'll see.
Where are they going to do that at? Can't do that with fucking weight on your car. I mean, they're probably going to do it at Duck's race. I'm sure Duck's going to let them fucking pull the weight around. I mean, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon now, and that's cool.
I mean, if he could do that,
everybody's been radial this, radial that, fucks floppy tires, radial versus the world, radial this, all over. And I get it. Radials can be fast. I get it. Everybody, PDRA and their rules packages and Midwest and their rules packages. That's great. ADRL comes around, And now don't get me wrong. I'm not taking, look, they've been doing the Ironman at Clyde's track for quite a few years now, so we're not reinventing the wheel here. Although we did kind of shape it. But with that being said, they could do what they want,
talk cheap.
I won't be surprised if everybody doesn't start letting these guys pull the weight off their cars and, because they see what we're doing and they start throwing money at everybody. I mean, it's just a bunch of petty, weak ass shit going on out there. Yeah. And for me coming in from the outside, I mean, it's just Jesus, man. That's why I'm keeping my blinders on. We're doing our fucking thing and we're going to make a great environment for people to come out and fucking blow their tires off. So in a good way.
So if Todd Moyer can set a world record with his 3.453 in testing because he could take the weight off, what's stopping Stevie Jackson Racing from doing it?
Probably insurance or something. There's probably, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't. I don't know why people would want to spend money to go slow. I just don't get it.
Okay, Nova went from struggling with the clutch to going down the track, running high numbers. Hell, everything behind his firewall has been his car since the 90s. Seeing these guys going from running 490s heads up racing to 340s, 350s is just amazing. Sullivan and Bubba's progression has been so much fun to watch. No doubt. I mean, even just the progression this year has been pretty substantial.
Yeah.
What y'all are doing is what
Amen.
Intended for pro mods started originally for real.
Yep. Look, I'll tell you what it is. This is it. This is the only reason
what's
why
up, Michael?
Mike, what's good, brother? Yeah, that's the goal, man. I mean, that's what it was here when we were at the top of the fucking mountain and we were taking market share from NHRA and we had standing room only everywhere. Gateway, fucking Valdosta, Rockingham, That's what it was all about. And that's where we're taking it back to. I'll tell you this though. I firmly believe the only reason they put those weights on there is to even the playing field, to get more
Mhm.
people to participate so that they have more people they can charge to participate so they can make more money because they're not getting it from the spectators. They've got to make their money off the racers. I
Mhm.
mean, it is what it is. I don't, and of course, sponsors and shit.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of a
But
disservice to the sponsors because then, I mean, what eyes are going onto your product if there's no spectators? It's just kind of
well, I
a
mean, they got eyes on
like,
social media, per
mm,
se, you know.
sure.
Don't
Yeah,
forget
I guess
nitrous
so,
pro
man.
mods. They're making major leaps for sure, and turbos. Yep.
When most
Remember when
nitrous cars
nitrous?
couldn't crack the fours, now they're
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and guess. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's 100% right. Don't forget the nitrous pro. Yes, they are for sure. Yeah, 100%, man. And it's just, and again, I'm telling you, this next year and the year after is going to be fucking groundbreaking. It really is. And then it's just going to be copycat. And you know what? And that's cool because I'm used to it. I'm used to it. As an entrepreneur, I was always taking on shit that people said. Well, I was always pretty innovative and doing things that no one said could be done. And sure as shit, as soon as you crack the code and you're fucking killing it, everybody else and their brother and sister want to jump on the fucking bandwagon, take the weak way out, can't come up with shit on their own. And then what happens is they all fucking tank. Yeah, that is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, who's that guy that did the interviews? He would do like the fake interviews on. He was huge. He was viral maybe 10 years ago.
Zach
And
Galifianakis between
no, this was the
cars.
guy when they put up the Baphomet statue in that one town, and he was up there, and the news interviewed him, and he was like, he would talk, and then he would say, I don't know, blah blah blah, I don't know. Anyways, he came out with a movie. It's fucking hilarious.
Hmm.
We're looking forward to next season. Amen. I think social media screwed drag racing and making people go to the track to watch lazy. Sitting at home now, cracking a beer in a comfy chair. He's right? Hey, amen, man.
Ain't no
Ain't no
fun
fin
when the
when the
rabbit
rabbit
got
got the gun.
the gun.
Amen, right? Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, I got to remember that. Ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, I think social media has kind of fucked it up too. I mean, in a good and bad way. It's just
It's a double-edged
crazy,
sword.
man.
It's a double-edged sword, and it was one of the things when we had Jay on NC Pro Modder before Dragpalooza. It was one of the questions I wanted to ask him, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those why ask it? Because like I had said earlier in the stream, we were talking about we'll have the races live streamed on our social media. I mean that's good because we get views and people see the races, but at the same time, how much of an impact does that have on people actually, like Stephen was saying, actually going to the track and viewing? How much does it help, and at the same time, how much does it hurt the industry for live streaming? I
That's
don't
right.
know.
That's right. That's yeah, Eric. I don't disagree, man. Hey, John, are you building another Corvette? I don't know if I should. You don't have to answer that. Obviously, you don't have to
We'll
answer
find out. We can ask next week.
that. We'll ask next week. I'm curious though, but I'm actually I don't want to know. I
Yeah,
think a grand reveal would be amazing. And as a matter of fact, I would love to be a part of your grand reveal. The ADRL would be. Adam and I could facilitate that. Maybe come to Clyde's shop or do something. I know you'd probably want to do it on your own social media, but
she's
we could help
already got a new
facilitate something.
home.
Eric Ganton has gone to a new home.
Any
There it
chance?
is.
Any chance we're still going to see that car coming back in the ADRL? That'd be cool.
Yeah, Darian, I agree, man.
I
It's
don't
helped and hurt.
disagree. I don't disagree.
Yeah, that's a very, very valid point, man. And that's a great I wouldn't even say debate. That's just a great topic for conversation. How it's helped and hurt drag racing for sure.
Oh yeah,
Um,
pros and cons to it, no doubt. But they did do some. They did do some good things. I'll give them that.
mm-hmm. Yep. So so yeah. So PRA, man. I'm excited. Ready to rock it.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, I'm going to cut this short. I've got some laundry to finish up before we head out tomorrow.
We've been going an hour and a half. We're not
I
cutting
know.
anything short.
No, I know. That's why it was,
If he wants to run fast, I mean,
is
he's
Mark
more than
Mickey coming to
welcome.
the ADRL? I don't have any idea. Probably not. I don't know. I've messaged him. I've asked him to come to the race. But they, again, they have to get their cars ready for this winter series thing. So I wanted him to come to XRP, but yeah, he was getting ready for the snowbirds. And again, that's all purpose. And I tried to get Keith Haney to come. Keith Haney straight up told me there's no way he would come because unless he thinks he's going to win, he ain't going to show up. Bottom fucking line. I mean, it came right out of his mouth. So, these guys, they don't want to look, you're either the quickest and you're the baddest or you're not. And you're going to go play in somebody else's sandbox. And that's cool. But we will, the ADRL has some bad mother effers running in it right now. And we're setting the bar, setting the tempo. Guys like Sullivan, guys like Bubba, obviously, a lot of these guys, and it's gonna be badass, man. And the racers will never get ass raped for entry fees and shit like what's going on in these other drag racing series. I'll go fucking broke or die before I take it out on the racers.
Yeah, this isn't a racer supported series.
No, it's not, man. We're here to support the racers. Yeah. And the spectators are here and the racers are there to support the spectators per se.
It's a Venn diagram where everything has to come together for everything to succeed.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, again, I don't get it. Exactly, Mike. I don't understand why guys want to spend a bunch of money setting their cars up to run not the quickest. But again, I just wonder if it's that country club mentality or where they just, I'm just curious to know why you'd want to spend money to go slow.
I'm curious to know why you'd build a turbo car that you're not even going to drive. But hey, if you got it, go for it.
Yeah, who knows, man?
It seems a little silly, but
I don't know. Again, that whole thing between him and Donald was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Haney got so butthurt, he went and found another sponsor to put more money on top of their payouts because he was super pissed that Don came out with the schedule and I guess one of the races was on top of theirs and they have the same. Obviously, they have the same, some of the same shit. I don't know.
Well, because Donald was expanding. He's got pro mods that he was adding into one of his events, and Keith was saying, "Oh, he's stealing my idea. I've already done this." No, there ain't too much original.
Well, it wasn't stealing the idea. It's that there was a race put on top of another race.
Yeah, that too. That was another complicated.
And that's what Keith was all fucking bent out of shape about. So he's like, fuck. So I guess in Keith's mind, he's like, well, fuck you. You're going to put a race on top of me. Then I'll get another sponsor and a bunch of money to take cars away from you. Like, I don't know. It's good. I don't care.
Nope.
You guys do your own thing, man.
It's fun to sit back and watch.
Yeah. It's fun. And frankly, I'm done wasting my time talking about other promoters and the other shit they got going on. We're ADRL focused. There are no rules. I think we have to keep that theme with the title for this.
Yeah, no rules racing. Yeah, I think it's definitely got to be incorporated.
Maybe we just call it ADRL No Rules Podcast.
Doesn't really flow. Doesn't flow.
ADRLs. What if we just call it We Don't Give a Shit Podcast? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Restricted area only. Restricted bands only.
That's where I came up. That's where red bands. That's where red bands came from.
Yeah.
In my mind, since that's what designates who can be in that restricted area. But yeah, it's not a universally known type thing. So ADRL All Access, ADRL Outlaw Hour. Those are the other ones I got that are not.
What's another rule? What's another word for no rules?
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Fuck all y'all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That could be it. Do what you want. I don't know. What do I know?
Yeah, we'll marinate on it.
Yeah, we will. All right, PA. What time are we leaving tomorrow?
I mean, I'm free and clear probably about 3:30ish.
Okay, cool. That works out good.
Put us up there about 8:30, something like that.
Okay. That sounds good.
Mid Coast Tractor Service Anarchy. Damn right.
I like anarchy.
ADRL Anarchy.
I like anarchy.
Wouldn't be a bad event, at least.
Let's see.
Anarchy in Alabama. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other A's for alliteration.
Let's see. Disorder. I like disorder.
Hmm.
Oh, we could call it riot. ARL's riot podcast.
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
Mayhem. No, that's. I don't know. Oh,
Discord.
upheaval. No kidding. Turbulence. No. Strife. Havoc.
Yeah, have excused.
It is.
Yeah, there's like racing events that are like Halloween Havoc and
We just call it 80-year-olds Havoc Hour. No. Mutiny.
Not opposed to mutiny. Mutiny does sound fun.
It does, right?
Does
Could-
seem
like on a dark side.
really seems doable too on a ship if you've got just enough people. I mean, really, what are you overthrowing? About 4 or 5 other people? So
That's right.
mutiny seems achievable.
Right. We can call it the 80-year-olds after hours mutiny, or no, just call it mutiny.
I don't know. I'll have to think on it. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem to tell the. It doesn't explain it within itself.
Mutiny hour.
Like no rules racing. I mean, if we're looking for the podcast name, I'm not sure. I don't know if no rules needs to really be incorporated into it or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about the podcast name right now, right?
I guess.
That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Name for the podcast. Tuesday Night Podcast. Mutiny.
I don't know if you'd want to express mutiny since if any mutiny was to happen, it'd be mutiny upon yourself with the ADRL. So that might not be the.
Oh, I see what
you'd
you're
wanna put
saying.
out there.
Yeah. Unrest. Lessness. I got nothing. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Everybody's got any ideas, throw them at us.
Yep. Kick them our way and we'll toss them around. We'll see what we come up with.
That's right. Love it. All right, everybody. Well, we will see you guys Thursday night from our VRBO or Airbnb or whatever the fuck I booked that through.
Can't remember.
For the Thursday night 80-year-old podcast. And yeah, we will thank you, Darlene. You do the same. And we will see you guys Thursday night. Appreciate you joining in. And like usual, fuck off.
Yeah. Tell your kids, tell your wives, tell your children. We're racing everybody out here.
We're racing everybody out here. Piece of chicken grease.
Bulls on parade.